Hello and welcome to today's vlog.
Hi.
Now, we don't usually, as you know, introduce them inside the boat, the vlogs that is, because we're normally outside moving, but on this particular occasion it's a little bit of a bitty vlog, isn't it? Because we're doing this, that and the other. We've got a BSS, which is the safety scheme examination. We had a problem with the Cratch cover, a few other things.
I broke it.
Yeah, and
it's just
a bit
very
of
bitty
here, there and everywhere. If you follow us on social media, if not, why not, then you'll probably know that we've been backwards and forwards on the Sheffield and South Yorkshire navigation and the Air and Calder, trying to get to Liverpool, and we got as far as Castleford and had to turn round. Floodlocks, rivers, a nightmare.
We've been on here 8 months now.
Yeah, so we've been on this stretch of waterway for 8 months. When you watch this, it'll be February. We filmed this bit in February, but what you're about to see was filmed towards the end of 2023 in November. I think it was October,
Yeah, something
November
like
time.
that. I can't remember anymore.
Yeah. The one thing I will say though is this is the first vlog I've ever filmed entirely on my Android phone. Not used the digital 4K Sony camera. It's all been shot on a phone. So those of you, well, you know, I wanted to give people an idea that you don't need expensive equipment. You can use exactly what you've got to make perfectly acceptable vlogs that people can watch. And a lot of people do. Mr. Cummins, as you probably know, shoots all of his stuff on his iPhone. So I thought, right, okay, fair enough. Well, let's try one completely with. So unfortunately, there's no drone footage, there's no music sequences, but there's a lot of us doing all sorts of different weird and wonderful things. Enjoy. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
We're at Selby Lock. This lock takes you out onto the River Ouse, the tidal River Ouse, to York one way, and to Goole and the Humber the other way.
And we're not doing
But
either.
we're not doing either now.
Yay!
We're going to be turning around and going back. The first thing we've got to do is sort out the Cratch cover. That's the bit over the front of the boat. We'll show you that inside. Before we do that though, big thank you to all our new subscribers, all our new watchers, lurkers, likers. Lurkers and likers, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us. If you don't know already and you're new here, I'm Tony.
And I'm Jan.
And behind us is our boat called The Boat, 60 foot.
Original.
And 23 years old. We've been living on it for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years in January.
No house.
No cars.
No cars.
We're
nothing.
water gypsies.
Water, yeah. So we live on board, and our vlogs explain about what we do week to week. Vlog to vlog, basically.
Where we go.
Our adventures.
How we do it.
Places we visit. Scenery we see.
Things that happen to us.
And history as well. So if you haven't already subscribed, press the subscribe button and join in the fun and follow our journey. Let's go and have a look. See what the River Ouse is doing. Apparently it's Sunday at the moment. Apparently it's still high tides, very high tides, until Thursday. Now, to the left would be your trip if you were going to York and Ripon, and to the right would be Goole. The tide is on the way out at the moment, and I think you'll agree that's going pretty fast. In fact, I'd say that's worse than trying to get into West Stockwith. Well, you'd need it onto slack water before you got in. Well, we've been here in Selby for nearly 2 weeks, not quite. can't get out on the River Ouse because why, Jan?
It's flooded.
It's flooded, yes. The lock keeper's not letting anybody out. He let 2 boats out on one day on one of the tides, but the tides are too high, and there's been flooding at Neyburn, which is the lock, the other end of the Ouse as you get into York, so we can't get in there. We've had several boats come up here, including our friends Alan and Beth on Constance 2, what's a wide beam. They came up here with a specific target of going to York like us, but unfortunately they've turned round and they've gone back to Doncaster. Now we had a mooring provisionally booked at York Marina for Christmas and New Year, but having looked at the flood situation, and it's likely to get worse rather than better between now and December, we've decided to...
I'm not going.
Jan's not going. Jan's not going.
I've seen the huge trees that are floating down the Ouse.
It's not just the flow of the tide that you have to worry about, which is quite fast. It's also the debris and detritus that follows you along the river as well, and I'm talking about whole tree trunks.
Detritus?
Detritus, yeah, crap in other words.
Oh.
Anyway, while we've been here, we've been able to do a few things. I've painted the back hatch, but also the big problem is that when we had our accident in Keepy Lock and Steve Ellis did all the work, we got him to do a few other things that we paid for, by the way, and one of them was this little table that I'll show you in a minute. Single table, instead of putting the big table up every time we want to just have a snack or I want to do some work on the laptop, we asked him to make a single table using one leg, a one-legged table. Yes, I know it sounds daft, doesn't it, but it does work, and I think it'll catch on. So we've got the big table for when a lot of people come, but I wanted a single table so I can sit behind it and do some work. That's what we got. It's slightly offset, but also the beauty of this, Janet, if you do a demonstration, Jan the demonstrator. Oh. No, that way. Yep. We can twist it round. Jan can sit there, and I can sit there, and we can have lunch or dinner. The other thing as well we asked them to do was to put a new, not a Cratch board, because that's the bit that goes along the top, but there's a Cratch board bit that sits on the roof of the boat that holds the Cratch cover taut. So we've got him to put a new piece of wood and a new retaining bar to hold that in place, and what that's effectively done is it's stretched the canvas, sorry, it's not canvas, it's stretched the material, which is vinyl, a bit too much, and that's resulted in one of the zips failing. It's also looking a little bit threadbare on the inside, so it could do with some work, some restoration work to, you know, make it last for another 5 or 6 years possibly. We don't know how long it's been up there. I think it's been about 10 years. About 10 years, Jan said, about 10 years. We have contacted a company called Mattress Man.
Oh dear. We're having a mattress put on. Canvas Man.
Yeah. It's Canvas Man in Keighley in Leeds, so I'm going to go down the train and take the current cover, and they're going to repair it and send it back to us, and then put some new clips on the roof, and we'll get it attached that way, because that's the other thing that has happened, is that the studs don't reach anymore now, so rather than put new studs in, they're going to put in some retaining straps.
Yeah. Like little ratchet straps.
Yeah, like little ratchet straps. So we've got them on the side. They're just going to put 4 on the roof. So that will make it a lot easier.
I am here, but I'm reading.
Yeah, she's there, she's reading. Now, where we're moored here, Jan likes this location, not just because there's like B&M or B&Q or whatever the hell
Home Bargains.
Home Bargains is nearby. And town centre's not far away either, but we're right opposite the fire station, which means there are some hunky firemen in there. And last night the fire engine went out.
They've also got a boat in there.
Yeah, they've also got a boat, so they must do river rescues. So, and that's the other thing that's a bit worrying here, going back to the shall we moor for Christmas up at York, is that whilst we've been here, the floodlocks down the River Aire, which is the other way, have been closed. So we've actually been stuck here technically, because we can't go that way onto the river to go to York. We can't go that way back on the river to go towards Doncaster. So we've been stuck. So that's also made us think, well, no, we don't really want to be stuck in York, because then in January when we do leave, we'll be able to get anywhere. And the services are all closed up in York town centre until April. So that would be a real bummer if we got stuck up there for 3 months with nowhere to go, effectively. We are looking for somewhere to moor up. It's been a bit tricky because we've tried Leeds, Doncaster, Thorn, we've tried everywhere and they're all full up. And of course we've got a 60-foot narrowboat. Lots of them just take GRP cruisers up to a maximum of 40 foot. Yeah, you're okay, but you'll have to moor on the outside. Not very secure, not very safe, to be honest, especially when we're going to leave the boat for a week or so. So no, we're on the lookout for somewhere, but first of all is to get this cratch cover fixed before the winter sets in. That's the part of the zip that's broken. The teeth have come apart, haven't they? I don't know what the technical term is, but it's knackered effectively. Yes, I've put some of that in there too. Yeah, you can see it probably better that way. You can see with it, and it won't work. I've tried all them things it says on YouTube and online about clamping the clasp or whatever it is, but it doesn't work. It's worked a little bit, but that's as far as we've got. And as you can see, it is a bit the worst for wear on here, which is where it gets pulled a bit. And these clips don't meet anymore. And instead of those being replaced, we're going to have this sort of thing. We're going to have this sort of thing, yeah, these straps put on the roof. So we're going to have 4 to this side, to the other side. I don't know whether we're going to keep those 2 as well. Probably are. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. And then we've just got these clips. So there's not much to take off, to be honest. It's just these clips just pull off at the front, which Jan is now going to demonstrate.
Ahoy! She says, I'll do the easy one that you did yesterday.
There you go.
Oh.
That's it. What? Yeah, well, they haven't been taken off for years, have they? Not since we've had the boat. Leaves it all a bit exposed, doesn't it? But we've got one day of rain on Friday.
Have you noticed how I do all the work here?
Oh, I'm filming.
Steer the boat.
Steer the boat. Steer the boat.
Elsa.
No, you don't.
Proof on all the
yeah,
boats.
right, okay.
Oh God, I can't get that one off. I think we might have to loosen the back 2 straps before I get these off, because this bit is still quite taut.
That's quite taut. Okay, I can do them. I can do something. Look, see. Thankfully, the ground here is quite up to level. They have been fluctuating because they've been taking the canal water. So we can take these off. That's that one off. Well, and that's it without the cratch cover on. Ooh, it looks weird. Just the A-frame and the board. That's what we're going to cover it with. It was previously covering the bikes, but yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. Jan, that board is in a ratchet, a groove.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bit bowed because all the weight. I think it's supposed to be like that anyway. What do I know? Right, this is not going to cover the entire lot, is it?
No.
But it will do to keep the rain off.
We're going to use black bin liners to attach to the bottom, so at least it keeps the rain out. But hopefully we should get it back on Monday.
And it's now
it's
Wednesday.
Tony's going to take it tomorrow. He's got to go bus train and all that lot to where they are. And then I was quite shocked actually, because she said they should be able to do the work on Friday. The only thing is I have got to unpick the broken zip. so that's going to take me a little bit of a while, but it's going to save about 50 quid. So I'm definitely doing that, and then he's going to take it Thursday. They do the work on Friday, and they did say hopefully
Get it back to
they'll
us.
meet us wherever we are and get it back to us on Monday, which would be great.
Marvellous. Don't realise how big the bloody thing is, do you? Here's Jan. Now we've got it all looking a bit...
I feel like I'm in the jungle. It's all camouflaged and bin bagged. I don't know why.
The bit at the bottom where it doesn't quite reach because it's a bit small, we put some bin bags with extra strong gaffer tape in. It's only for today's little rain shower and Friday's really bad rain. But yeah, the idea is to get this zip off.
It's sewn on, but can you see it's glued as well? See the shiny bit? That's all glue. So part of it is glued, and then it's sewn on here. It's coming off quite good, but I've got to cut all these little bits off, and I could do with what they call a quick and pick in the sewing trade. It's got one. It's like a claw, and this bit is sharp, and this has got a little ball on it, so you can just run it without breaking the material, and it will just unpick it. That's why it's called a quick and pick. But I haven't got one.
And we couldn't find one, could we?
No, I can't find any sewing places here, but it's, as long as I'm a bit careful, it's... Then I'll just tidy up all these bits, because I'm cutting it and not releasing the running stitch as natural. I'll have to just cut all these little bits that are here so that it looks cleaner and that, ready for them to put the new zip in. I hope I've taken the right zip out. No, look. Look, it looks perfectly fine now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's so much the zip as it's the claw thing, whatever you call it, the thing at the end.
It just got misaligned.
Yeah.
It's probably my fault because I tightened the strap a bit too much, not realising the zip was done up. We'll see.
Alright, here we are at Canvas Man then. Let's see what happens in here. Canvas Man was started in Leeds back in 1996 by Chris Salisbury in the tiny cellar of his Victorian terraced house. From its humble beginnings as a one-man band, the company has since grown to a dedicated team of expert designers, cutters, sewers and fitters, now based in the charming Yorkshire town of Baildon. As well as boat covers, they also design and manufacture shade sails, shop canopies, vehicle covers and much more, and they offer a full refit and upholstery service. And no, they didn't pay us or give us a discount. We're just happy to give them a mention because they're really nice people to deal with. We agreed to meet them at Castleford so they could fit the repaired Cratch cover. Now this is the lock that takes you from the Selby Canal, that's Selby Canal up there, down onto the River Ouse. Jan's just shutting the gate behind us. That's where I've got to pick Jan up from. This is Beale Lock. Now, I think you can see how bad that weir is. So that's pushing the water this way, and the wind is blowing the boat over to the pontoon, which is no bad thing, but getting here is a little bit fraught. Probably not the smoothest pan I've ever done. There you go. Safely through Beale Lock, thanks to the help of the boater who broke down. He hadn't moored on the lock landing. He was on the lock landing, but he'd been told to stay there until Thursday, which is the earliest he can get the work done. The trouble there, you're on these river sections. There's nowhere to moor up if you're in an emergency, because you know that's one side, and this is the other side. Nowhere. So lock landings are probably the only place you can moor up safely. Anyway, we're heading towards, I never remember the name of it, we call it the glass factory, which is true because there's a glass factory opposite the moorings. It's been there for donkey's years. But the general area is Nottingley, so that's where we're heading for, and then we'll moor up there. Right, so this is Bank Dole Lock. This is the flood lock that is often closed and locked normally, but it's not locked at the moment. It is opened, hopefully. Says he. Jan's had a Weetabix this morning. I've not actually had anything, come to think of it. Yeah, so this is often, because the main line of the air and colder navigation is just the other side of this lock where we're going to moor up. And over here is the main River Aire, which we're coming off now. This lock is usually closed when there's the threat of a flood. The wind is causing a lot of problems. That's got to be the windiest journey I've ever done. Ever. And as you can see, I'm not doing anything and the boat's being pushed backwards because the wind, it's not the flow of the river necessarily, it's the force of the wind sending us backwards. So we're using rivet, are we?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
That's it.
That's much better than the what is it they normally use? Because I've got them on.
Snaps.
Yeah.
This is much better because it makes a tension in here, and then cover has always tension, and then it cannot goes back or something like that.
Yeah.
Very good for that.
Yeah. We moored up just after the floodlock in Ferrybridge and experienced torrential rain for the next 2 days, so much so the floodlock was closed. And within 24 hours after that, the water had breached the top of the floodlock, and we thought, right, let's scarper from here. We come down here a bit further down the Aire and Calder. We're moored up by the M62, but we've done this before and it's not too bad. It's nice and quiet actually. It looks like there's a towpath on this side, but it actually is the other side over there. And the beauty of being here is that there are rings you can moor up to.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog.
Thank you to all of you for watching, sharing, commenting and subscribing. Thanks to our patrons and everyone on Buy Me a Coffee.
And if you've enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. It's totally free. And then when you have subscribed, press that bell icon.
Ding!
Thank you, Jan. And YouTube will let you know next time we upload a vlog. In the meantime, stay safe everybody. Happy cruising. Bye for now.
Bye!